name is Nur Shamsumanti Amran, AA190115. Before we going more deep into our problem-based learning questions, I will begin with the introduction of the topic differentiation to make a better idea and understanding on the topic for us to learn. So basically, differentiation is the process of determining the derivative. It is a measurement of how quickly the value of y changes in relation to the change in the variable x, or can also be defined as the instantaneous rate of change of y with respect to x, and can be expressed as dy over dx. Differentiation also can be understood as the slope or the gradient of the tangent line to graph function geometrically. From the basic calculation of rate of change of square rectangle to the complex calculation like Newton's method in physics, differentiation is one of the knowledge used in a variety of study fields including engineering and economics. Hence, to understand the application of differentiation to mathematical concepts and real-life situations, one must learn and understand the calculation of the differentiation of various functions such as trigonometric, polynomial, exponential, and logarithm functions. Thus, these are the basic knowledge we should know about the differentiation as we can applying the concepts into our daily life. For example, using graph to calculate the profit and loss in the business. So, without further ado, I will pass on to my group members as they can explain more detail about our PBL questions. So, that's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nurjanatul Akila binti Roslan. My number matrix is AA191163. Now, I will explain about the problem background or background studies. Okay, PBL or problem-based learning is a works that the student do the works in a group and they want to solve an open-ended problem. Okay, for the question number 1 and question number 9 that we get, so I can relate these two questions with one word, which is architectural. Okay? Okay, architectural. So we get the root word is architecture. Architecture is defined as the method of designing and building something into a usable and pleasing form. So, we can understand the definition of architecture is the characteristic of a design that makes something like building using the computer or just a rough plan to do the ratio of the length for replace the real number of the building in real world. Okay, from the question number 1, we can know the problem is the architect student want to design a model that have a cone and cylinder on it, on the model, right? So, from this, he know the measurement of the cone, but he do not know about the height of the circular cylinder that he want to do. So, from the question number 1, the ratio of each length to do the model, it is very important because if we make the mistake in the ratio, so the real number in the real world can be mistake too. Okay? So, from this, we need the right significant, the number of measurement. because we want to make sure that the building that we build are very strong and safe. Okay? For the question number 9, okay, the problem from this question is Puan Arifah want to know the specific largest possible area of her garden that she can fence. Okay? She just have 150 centimeter of wire that available to fence her garden. So, this question is we have to find the solving strategies that we can do, the calculation and the result that's suitable. Okay? Because she just have 150 centimeter to fence her garden. So we have to to find out which is 150 centimeter is suitable for her garden or not. I think that's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and very good evening. I am Fazrin Batrisha binti Abdullah, number matrix AA 190566. So today I'm going to present on the filler table part. So I'm going to present the filler table part for questions model 1. So this question asks on what is the maximum volume of cylinder that could be inscribed into a cone. So the first fact is the volume of cylinder that could be inscribed into a cone is depend on the volume of cone. So the ideas would be we need to calculate both volumes of cones and cylinder. So the learning issues will be how to calculate volume of cylinder and cone. So the actions that we take is from the internet we could get the formula of finding the volume of cylinder and also a cone. So now we could calculate the volumes. So the second fact would be the head and radius of the cylinder should be or must be smaller than the head and radius of the cone. So the ideas would be the fractions of head to radius of triangle AOB and ACD inside the cone will be equivalent. So the learning issues is how to calculate the heat of a cylinder from the equivalent fractions of triangle AOB and ACD. So the actions would be we need to draw a triangle inside the cone. So the triangle AOB would become equivalent to triangle ACD. So the third fact is there are two different variables which is volume and radius inside the equation of volume of cylinder. So the ideas would be we need to use the rate of change term which is rate of change of volume with respect to radius. So the learning issues here is how to write the rate of change between the volume and the radius. Action is from the lecture notes in internet. The rate change of volume and radius could be written as dV over dr. So the last fact is there are relationship between rate of change of volume with respect to its radius in the volume equations. So the idea is we need to equal the dV over dr with 0 in order to solve the equations. So the learning issues here is How to determine the radius of cylinder from the equations. So the actions is by differentiate the equation we will get dv over dr is equal to 0. So we will get the answer. We will get the radius of the cylinder.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Nabila binti Maswan and my metric number is AA190353. So, I would like to present about Villa Table Case Study 9. For the case study 9, which is garden fence, the question is, Puan Arifah loves gardenings and she wants to fence her garden. It is to be laid out in a rectangular and circle. Give that the radius of the circle is half of the length of rectangular, which is the large possible area of the garden if only 150 cm of wire available for the fence. In Villa table, we have 4 elements, which is facts, idea, learning, and action. Firstly, we will talk about fact. The first fact from the question is 150 cm is the maximum limit of total perimeter for both rectangular and circle at the garden. Second, the area of the garden are determined by the total area of the both circle and rectangular. Third, the area of rectangular is changed with respect to length of x centimeter. And the last one is relationship of the rate of the change area of rectangular with respect to its length in area equation. So, for idea, the first idea is we need to calculate both perimeter of rectangular and circle spread by assigning length as x and width as y. Second, need to calculate the area for both circle and rectangle separately. Third, need to write an equation of rate of change area with respect to the change of length. And the last one, we need to equal dA per dx to 0 to solve the equation, which is we need to do differentiation. Next is learning. First, how to calculate perimeter of rectangular and circle. Second, what is the formula to find area of circle and rectangular. Third, how do we write term rate of change of area with respect to length. And the last one is how to determine length value. For the action, first we got reference from the book, which is perimeter formula for rectangular is P equal to 2x plus 2y. Perimeter of circle circumference formula is P equal to 2 pi r. Second, we get reference from book 2, which is area of rectangular equal to xy. Meanwhile, area of circle equal to pi r square. For third, same goes like the 1 and 2, we get reference from the book, which is rate of change of area with respect to length is right as a dA per dx. The last one is from internet, which is differentiation. The equation is dA per dx equal to 0. That's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum and good evening. My name is Nur Alisha Shofi binti Nur Azizul Rahman, and today I'm gonna tell you about the conclusion of our problem-based learning project, which is PBL project. In case study 1, we need to measure the maximum volume of cylinder that can be inscribed into the cone. We got 414.69 cm square total volume of cylinder can be inscribed into the cone, which means in ratio of 44.4% of volume cone. Volume of cylinder are differentiated to get the answer of height and radius of cylinder. In case study 2, Puan Arifah want to fence a garden in circle and rectangle shape with limited wire length, which is 150 cm of wire they need to use. So by using the formula of area and perimeter of square and circle, we can solve the problem. So in order to determine the answer that we get was correct or not, we will substitute the answer in perimeter formula. and by substitution process, we get the answer of 149.99 cm of wire, which approximately to 150 cm. So we can conclude that our answer was correct, and that's all from me. Thank you.